Good day, everybody. Today we'll be talking about PDC-One, an add-on for SAP Business One, which is the easiest solution to leverage the SAP Business One production module. Many of you already have SAP Business One in the office. You're probably using it for sales order, inventory, purchasing, CRM, and hopefully many of you are using it for production orders. What's lacking in SAP Business One, even if SAP added over the course of the last few years many feature function like routings and resources and stages, it's lacking a tool to capture production data in real time with or without barcode scanner and tactile screens. You want something, of course, usually when you deploy that it's going to be easy, fast to implement with extreme user-friendly application and easy to use for people in the production floor. So that's something that we provide with PDC-One. It will accurately track your production orders in details and provide actuals. And by actuals, we mean it will allow people on the production floor to declare quantities of finished product that they treated at a specific step. For example, if I do quality, work order may have called for 50, but I only have 45 in front of me. So I'll be able to declare that I had 45 that went through. And I will also be able to declare actuals on how many raw material did I use and components did I use. And of course, that is very important when you do those receipts from production, but they'll be done directly on the interface that we're providing. So overall, it will reduce the paperwork, the timesheets, the manual data entry that people would do on the floor. Right? Employees on the production floor should not have to use a pen or a pencil to write on the traveler or the work order, which then goes back in the office, which then somebody needs to enter back into SAP Business One to deplete inventory and, of course, receive the finished product. So get the most out of SAP Business One production module by having just a slightly modified module here, PDC-One, that adds just a little bit, right? We're not trying to compete with the larger manufacturing add-ons that have a lot of different planning and scheduling, advanced configuration, and whatnot. This is just to leverage what's in SAP Business One by providing real-time information in SAP Business One from inputs that people will be doing on the floor. So I'll give you a quick demo of what you can see on SAP Business One. We will add a couple of screens, and I'll explain that in a moment. And of course, on the production floor, we will provide a screen that is browser-based, as you will see. And that browser can work on an old PC that you just repurpose to be on the production floor with maybe a barcode scanner attached to it as a keyboard wedge. Or it could be on a tablet that some people have at different areas, or even a phone if you prefer. So very, very simple implementation. We're talking about 10 hours. 10 hours to install and train people. That's how straightforward it is. And then, of course, it's going to be inexpensive as well because 10 hours is not much to implement, but also as the cost, and we'll talk more about this at the end, but it's about less than $1,500 to get going on this for software on a subscription basis. So without waiting longer, let's go ahead and look at what we have in SAP Business One, right? So this is the dashboard that we're adding into the SAP Business One menus. And you'll see, I'll go back in the menu once we're explaining this, but initially open the PDC-One job status because you want to search by specific due date. Give me all the work orders for a due date of this week to next week. Or maybe you're looking for a specific work order because the client's on the phone and it says, hey, I want to change this color. Is it too late to ask for that change? And did it go through printing yet? So you're able to say, let me see. And then you'll be able to see exactly who on the production floor has this work order on their hands or in their hands on their table. It could be that you have a problem with a product or raw materials. They give me all the work orders that have this specific product, or it could be for a specific client or a specific work order, a specific sales order, pardon me. And of course, those of you that are not colorblind will notice there's quite a bit of colors on the screen. What we want to do is to give a very, very quick visual cue as to the status of things. So the upper pane that you see here are the work orders that are in line with the criteria that you selected. So you can put criteria as a new search. what happens is that it will list all the work orders that are open that you want to see, and anything that is in white has yet to be started. So there was nothing done, no time put against them at all. Whatever is red or orange is late or risking delay, so you definitely want to pay attention to that, right? And of course, if you see green, that means people are currently working on this, meaning right now, in real time. If it's yellow, there were people working on it. It was started, but it was stopped. So maybe the machine broke down, the tool broke, or people just went home for the night and then they interrupted before they left work, and then they'll just start again tomorrow morning. So as you have the list here, you can click on one of them, and then you'll see as you click on it, the bottom part will display the different routing operation, the different steps, whatever you call it in your language for your shop, your manufacturing facility. You'll see the different areas that need to be done for the product to be made. Okay? If I click on a different one here, you'll see different steps, right? If I click on one that's in yellow, you'll see more, you'll see less. It really depends on what you want to do. And of course, if you click on this one, for example, we do allow multiple people to work on the same operation. So of course, you see different operations here, assembly and quality. And right now, quality is being worked on. But maybe there are a lot of people that work on quality on that specific job. Maybe there's a lot of units to be made. So that's why if you click here, show clock line detail, every time somebody clocks in and clocks out on something, we will put a date time stamp as to when this was started and stopped, okay, for all the different people that may have worked on this work order, this operation in due course. It's nice because if you want to investigate who worked on this, how come it took so long, how come it did not, so you have the detail here that you can look at should you want to, with the not just the type of person, QA technician, but all the way down to the name of the person that was assigned to this. All right. Of course, this is an SAP Business One, very quick dashboard that will be refreshed in real time. Okay, so that's nice because you don't need to move from your chair in the office. As people will do things on the floor, it will automatically update the status here. And of course, not only that, but it will also provide people with the receipt from production. So right now, if you are going manual with those production orders in SAP, chances are you come here and then you'll do a receipt from production and you'll do an issue for production, right? That's fine. It's normal. It's part of the process. Well, PDC-One does this automatically. People on the floor will have the opportunity to say, I made so many of this, and then they'll update Business One. And I used so many of these components and so much of these raw material. So all the production orders that you see here with their proper information as far as the planned quantity, then the issuing will take place automatically in the background from PDC-One for what's been used. And of course, the planned quantity of the finished product will also be updated through the PDC-One application. So very, very easy, very straightforward, but also something that we've been asked by client quite a bit. So PDC-One, as I mentioned, has a job status. The time detail screen, why would we have a screen called time detail? Well, people being people, and I'm not saying your people would do this, right? Not at all. I'm sure your people never make a mistake. But it could be that when I go in one morning, I forget to scan on a job. Or when I go to lunch, I leave quickly, I got a doctor's appointment, and I forget to clock out on that job. And then the clocks run. And the clock runs for no reason, and then it's going to throw my costing out of whack. So that's why you have the opportunity to go back after the fact. A supervisor can go in if it has, authorization. He or she would come here to correct an employee's time against a work order. So that's just a normal process into any production system, is the ability to go and correct a specific person's time against a work order, against an operation, against a step. Okay, so very straightforward, called time detail. Now, what's new is really on this side here when you have a browser, right? So normally somebody who goes to the terminal, which is again can be an old computer, maybe with hopefully a touch screen. People can just tap the screen, or a scanner, because we usually add all the work orders have barcodes now, so that's part of the PDC-One. We changed the traveler a work order form into Business One, so it has barcodes on it, so people can scan. And of course, every employee would have their own badge, so they can scan their badge, and by scanning their badge, you can tap the screen, or automatically the scanner will do an enter, and then they'll bring them into this screen. As you can see, Cynthia Sanchez is about to either end this operation for this work order. So she was currently working on work order 172. All right, she needs to make a quantity of 12 of this operation. So she's obviously checking quality, taking measurements and whatnot, and maybe she'll process 12, but only declare 11 because maybe one will be scrapped after her operation. So that's why she can say, all right, now I didn't have time to finish. I need to go out to lunch. So she could come here and click stop. This will go in a way that it will update SAP, stop the clock, right? Because we're going to gather time. So if we go back to SAP and we come here into the job status, then we'll be able to see clearly that the time was stopped onto this work order. So if we click on the work order 172, as you can see now, it's yellow. And now the quality process has been stopped. When we looked at this earlier, the quality was in green, right? So real-time update of the status. And of course, all the hours that were performed by everybody on this job / activity will be tallied up to do the total time spent on the job. Okay? As you can see, right? It's a demo database, so don't take exception because I'm planning here for 12 minutes. Well, so far we've done 14 hours and 31 minutes. Of course, we're using this database to do a lot of demos for clients like you. So it's normal, but allows you, as you can understand, to compare how much time I'm supposed to take versus how much time it really took overall. All right, so I hope this makes sense. I was also looking at the detail that's rolled up here, assembly and quality, but if you want to see who worked on this, then as I showed previously, this can demo all the time that somebody was assigned to this, up until the one that we just looked at, Cynthia Sanchez, that just did the clock out to go to lunch or go to an appointment. All right, so with that being said, if we go back on the other side, that she comes back from lunch, she's got to start again. So she could come here, we select the line, so either scan or tap the screen. As you can see, I can just tap the screen, and then it starts it again. Okay, so start, stop, different people in different areas of the floor, the production floor, or even in different buildings can work on work orders. And of course, what just happened here again, if I refresh, it will show that this work order 172 was started again. So as you can see, now quality is again green because somebody is currently working on this. And should I want to know who's got this in their hand so I can walk to the floor and say, whoa, stop, this just went on credit hold, then of course I can go to the level of detail that I want to go and see who's got it in their hand right now, Cynthia Sanchez. All right, so I hope that helps understanding what we do on the floor versus what is being updated into SAP. And of course, when I go back to on the floor, I could be logging her out automatically. So as I scan as an employee, as I went away, the system here is scheduled to stay in front of me because I'm in a demo mode. But usually as the person scanned or touched the job, it will automatically log her back out. So the next person in line behind her can scan his or her badge to get going again on this one. Okay, so you can have multiple terminal in the warehouse and the production floor. So you can have one at each end of the production floor. You can have just one overall in the central. You can put as many as you want, and we'll talk about pricing in a moment. But now that she is back in front of her screen, as you can see, she can also complete the operation. That's the check mark that you see here. Or most importantly, maybe she needs to declare what was done, right? How many did we make of this? Right. So right now we're planning for 12. She already processed 3 yesterday, so she could come here and declare that, you know, she made the 9 additional one, and then they'll move on to the different things, right? So she could do this here, or she could have used this button to do it automatically just with those big buttons. If there's a lot of different materials as far as components or raw material, she could search for a specific one. Maybe her step required her to use just this one, but she doesn't want to scroll through 50 different lines of products that are part of the bill of material. So that's why we have the search for material field right here. And of course, she can declare that she did use some of these, but maybe her step as quality control did not involve any of those consumptions. Maybe they'll be done at a later stage, part of a different operation. All right. So I hope this makes sense for you. The goal is really to show people that what happens on the production floor can automatically be updated into the SAP system. Okay. So with that being said, the actions taking place here will have a direct impact into the SAP production order. It'll do a direct impact into the production receipt, a direct impact into the production issuing, and of course, it'll have a clear real-time visibility into the dashboard. So as far as saving time, it's a tremendous amount of time that's being saved because, as you know, again, if you have people on the floor writing down, if you have people in the office typing in, not only it takes time, there's also a risk of errors, and let alone right now, the example we took did not manage lot numbers and serial numbers, but of course, if some of these items are lot managed or serial managed, the system here will ask for those lot numbers that can be scanned, and what's nice is that they will automatically do that transaction on the SAP side. Okay? So I hope this was a good demo. I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. As far as pricing, the system is very affordable because we're talking about for each terminal, and by terminal we mean if it's a computer. So for example, if we say we have a computer on the left side of the plant, a computer on the right side of the plant, and then the 20 people together will just go to one or the other based on how far they are from one of the terminal. Then you have 2 terminal. A terminal is $895 per year. So $895 per year per terminal. And then you have to buy packs of users, and they come in the packs of 10. So you have 10 employees, then you need 1 pack. So you can have 2 times $895 if you want 2 terminal. And then you may have just 1 pack of $395, 10 employees, and that's it. So all you have to do is $395 for 10 employees per year plus $895 for the terminal. So if you just have a small plant, small shop floor, you may just be able to say, I'll put 1 computer or tablet in the middle of the floor, somewhere accessible to everybody. That's $895 a year. And then you say, I got 10 employees or 9 employees, that's $395 a year. You're up and running with software for less than $1,500 a year, right? So payback on this, if you calculate time that people would spend on paper, writing, going in the office and whatnot, and all the status of production, you spend a lot more than that, just probably within a week or 2. The software is one thing, but you need to deploy, and again, very affordable, very quick, about 10 hours to deploy this. So 10 hours, we do the installation, we train you. As you can see, it's very straightforward. There's not much in there. So very easy, very productive, real-time information. It does what it does. We're not adding scheduling. We're not adding configuration. We're not getting advanced master production. This is to track whatever you're doing on the floor based on the current production order of Business One that you're using. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. Give us a call anytime, 800-270-9420, 800-270-9420, and we'll be happy to demo specifically for you or answer any question you may have. Thanks so much and have a great day.